kind of figured that a brew day would go like this, where we kind of just sit around all day, and that's how the day's been. So, for anybody that doesn't know, this is Tom Krasinski, right?
Yep, that's right.
I actually pronounced it right.
Yeah.
The owner and proprietor of Homebound Brewing, and our first and only sponsor so far. So,
Yeah, am I the only sponsor?
so far, yeah. I gotta whore myself out to some other places, maybe, like get some more, but like.
You're hanging out here all the time. That's why it's holding you back.
But I like being here. That's the point, Like so today we spent the day with Derek and Kyle.
Yep.
They're shooting some glamour shots and some ad stuff for Tom today. So we spent the day doing dumb video shoot stuff today. Super fun though.
Yeah, we made some beer.
We did make some beer too.
Yeah. Shout out to Maker's Malt.
Yeah. Out of Rostern.
Delivering it right to the door.
That's awesome. Well, it's really not that far away.
20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Same community.
So I'm guessing you buy most of your grain from Makers then?
Yeah, pretty much all of it now. They're kind of the craft maltster of the province.
Yeah.
And then there's this massive malt house on the Bigger, Saskatchewan.
In Bigger?
Have you been there?
No, I haven't.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're sending like unit trains of barley to like Mexico every week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, good for small Saskatchewan stuff, right? Like,
Yeah, no, it's awesome for
Yeah.
the province.
Yeah.
There's a guy that works there, David Klinger. He's just a gentleman.
Yeah. So I'm guessing they send it all milled to your spec as needed then?
Yeah. I mean, I rely on their milling.
Yeah.
Which has worked so far.
Yeah. I've used some of their stuff homebrewing, and it's always been it's been quality stuff. Like I think I used their Pilsner malt for something. Yeah.
I'll use that one quite a bit.
Yeah. That's the paddle for when Mitch, steps out of line. Just beat.
Seen some wear and some use.
Oh Jesus, that's awesome.
Jamie Guido out of Calgary made this for me.
Nice. So have you just used that here then?
Yeah, I had like a stainless one.
Yeah.
It's too heavy. Man.
So like, what's your normal boil time when you're doing so today we're brewing a sour.
Yep.
Haven't figured out what flavor sour yet.
No, well, I mean, a lot of that'll be on the fruit.
Yeah.
I know what yeast I'm using. I know what lactobacillus I'm using.
Yeah.
I know what gravity range I'm targeting.
Yeah.
I know what my malt bill is.
Yeah.
But how it's marketed and how it will come across and how it will taste, a lot of that will come down to the fruit you add, and that happens post-fermentation.
Yeah.
So you kind of have a secondary fermentation afterwards. And, we'll add more yeast at that point, but
Yeah. Oh, so you actually do an extra yeast addition too then?
yeah,
Depending
just
on.
rip through some of those fresh, simple sugars that go in with the fruit.
Yeah.
You don't have to. A lot of times you'll get enough yeast vitality left over from your brew that it's fine, but
Yeah. So what kind of yeast do you normally use?
I use a lot of British strains. I'll use USO4. I'll use like a London Ale 3 equivalent.
Yeah.
A few different ones.
Yeah.
And I'll use Quebecs as well too.
Quebecs, yeah, that's super quick.
They can be,
Can be.
They can be.
I've heard of people like having like homebrew stuff, like 5-gallon batches done in like 36 hours, and they're hitting their gravities like right away. So
yeah, you can have some crazy fermentation.
yeah.
There's only so many. I've tried. I don't know, a number of like strains. There's only a few I really like.
Yeah.
And the ones I use don't tend to ferment as quick or vigorously as some of the ones I'm describing.
So like, are you fermenting at like that 30 degree with the Quebec stuff?
I'll go as high as 40.
You haven't exactly decided what it's going to be yet, but probably a pineapple sour.
Yeah, most likely it's going to be a kettle sour. We know that.
Yeah.
We know that much.
Yes. So okay, so let's jump back to the beginning here. So like when did you get the idea to open a place like this? I'm like we've talked about this before. Like you. So okay, so let's jump back to the beginning here. So like when did you get the idea to open a place like this? I'm like we've talked about this before. Like you've definitely like done home brewing stuff. But when did you want to make the transition from home brewing into full on, I don't even know how big your capacity is, but like how like from home brewing to like an actual brewery
to make it on? Yeah. So I think it was 2018. So I had a different career before. I was in finance for a number of years.
Yeah.
And came back here and tried a couple different things. I knew I wanted to not live in out east anymore or big cities. I was kind of stuck to bigger centers for what I did. So I spent almost a year just kind of trying to look around and see what I wanted to do before I jumped into something else. And just basically chose brewing. So that would have been September 2018.
Yeah.
Is when kind of full time I decided. And that would have been 5.5 years ago.
Yeah. When did you open the doors here? You opened during COVID.
November 2020.
Yeah. So right in the middle of the bullshit of the early 2020s.
Yeah, no, it was there was like COVID barriers up.
Oh, you know what? I remember that now. Like the plastic you had up.
Glass.
Yeah. It was an interesting time. I mean, we won't get into COVID shit a whole lot because I don't like talking about it anymore.
Good choice.
But I remember the first time I came in here. I think me and a couple buddies. I think a couple of them were out from Vancouver, and we sat on the patio. And Carl, your dog, was in here at the time.
Yeah, Carl. On the patio.
On the patio, yes, not in the brewery because you can't do that. It's illegal.
Is it?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh.
Is he a service dog? Yes, he's a service dog.
I think so, yeah.
He's your therapy dog. There you go. He's fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, no, but he's not in the brewery anymore. It doesn't matter because he stays at home.
That's right.
Yes, but I remember, and I think the very first beer that I had from here is the Dr. Beak, which is what I'm drinking right now.
Yeah.
I'm a big IPA guy. People make fun of me for liking IPAs, but I don't like those people, so I don't care. But,
who makes fun of you? Is it Ken mostly?
Ken doesn't make fun of me, but it's the people that haven't expanded their palate yet that are still drinking like Coors Light and Coors Banquet after being 25 years old.
Yeah.
Not saying that there's anything wrong with those beers, but there's a whole world of beers out there rather than just the same shit made by the same big breweries, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So what's your favorite style of beer right now? So like if you say you go into a place that has 150 taps.
Yeah.
What are you picking? Like what style are you picking?
I love IPAs. I love hops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love brewing it. I love drinking it.
Yeah.
Coming into, I guess, craft beer around that time, like that was what was kind of new and exciting. There was big stouts and sours and fruit additions, and that stuff's interesting. But I don't know, there's just such a broad array of flavors you can get out of hops. Yeah, and it was just, I don't know, process-wise, it was super interesting. And, taste-wise, it was my favorite beer for sure. It still is.
Yeah. They do say that people that like bitter beers and like bitter coffee are more likely to be psychopathic.
Oh, okay.
There's some study that some university did. So I don't care. I like a hoppy beer too. Like I know some people say that they taste like pine needles, but it's not like drinking a gin or something.
No. I mean, a lot of the newer hop varieties, when you use them in the dry hop, you don't get a lot of that piney.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those old memories are from Centennial and Cascade.
Yeah.
That was kind of
the generational
Yeah.
hops that have
I
been
mean,
around
I
with
still
that.
love a kind of piney beer that you describe that way.
Yeah.
They're hard to find now, honestly.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I haven't had a really like a aggressively piney or hoppy beer, like that much. You know what I mean? Like, but it's been a long time. So, but we've talked about this.
Do you homebrew still?
I haven't for a while.
No?
I've been meaning to. So actually, I think one day I might just come in here with my homebrew stuff on the day that you're brewing, anyways.
Yeah.
We'll just do like a double batch.
I'll give you some yeast, man.
Oh, perfect. We'll just
Some
order
wort too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even just bring a little bit of an extra grain bill in.
Yeah.
The shit I do is only like 10 or 12 pounds.
I hear you, man.
Yeah.
Can I go check the brew right now?
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
We'll just
we're cooling
take
it
a
down
little-
to pitch
This will be the
bacillus.
we'll add a commercial right here. So stay tuned for that.
The Lost Signals podcast is brought to you by Homebound Brewery, a family-owned and operated brewery focused on bringing people together and creating quality small batch craft beer that's all your own. Serving a variety of beers on tap and in cans, along with guest seltzers, cider, and even some non-alcoholic options for kids. Cans available at over 40 retail liquor stores throughout the province of Saskatchewan. From our family's hands to yours, it's Homebound Brewing. Check them out online at homeboundbrewing.ca.
And we're back.
And we're back. Yeah, good call. So what are you doing right now, or what's happening in this stage of the brew day?
So we're doing a kettle sour.
Yes.
So we moved it over. I did a short boil. Just, you don't have to before you pitch the lactobacillus, but
Yeah.
just kind of a bit paranoid that if something goes wrong, you want to make sure the lactobacillus gets to sour the beer before maybe some other microbe.
Well, so you don't have to boil a sour.
No, so
You mash the sour, but
yeah, so you make wort.
yeah.
And the wort doesn't need to boil prior to the lactobacillus being pitched in the
Okay. Yeah.
I am just to kill off whatever might be there. And
Call it like a pasteurization sort of thing.
a little bit, yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
way to think about it. And then I'll pitch the lactobacillus and it'll do its thing. And
So for anybody
Sour.
curious about what we're talking about, I'm gonna put like a link to like a home brewer discussion, because like there's some of the terms that we're talking about that like I have homebrew, but I still don't understand 100%. So like we'll put like a how to link here or
Yeah.
something.
I'll try not to talk about such boring stuff too.
It's not. It's definitely not boring. Like because it is like it's your life, right? Like that's. But there's a lot more science behind it than I think a lot of people think. Like, 'cause like we were talking earlier today, like you pulled out one of the your home, or not homebrew guys, like a brewing guide, and like I read a sentence. It's like, yeah, I recognize these words, just not in this order. No, because like there's a lot of like really sciencey stuff here. Like, and you're talking
There
like
can be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking like down to like the protein level, like there's a lot of shit going on that is really, it's maybe not high tech isn't the right way to word it, but it's pretty intense if you think about it in the sense that like there's a lot of things that have to happen to make alcohol.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can make it as complicated or simple, I think, as you want to in another sense.
Yeah. We talked about this morning. It's like you can throw
But-
a bunch of shit in a vat and see what happens.
But a lot of times when you're trying to change variables in a process, like there's one thing about brewing the same thing 1,000 times, and through your experience that this works or that doesn't work,
Yeah.
and whatever. But when you're trying to change a lot of stuff and you don't have that experience to back up what you're doing, I mean, you can lean on research and what people have written about it and the actual chain of how things work in terms of making those decisions. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that was things that I probably focused on a lot more before I started the brewery.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of understand it by doing it a number of times, and you don't think too much about it anymore,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, is there any sort of like regulatory body that you like besides like the Saskatchewan Liquor and Gaming Authority? Like, but is there like a regulatory body that you have to like say prove that you're brewing something that's going to be safe for people to drink? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so we have to submit COAs, I believe, every 2 years. It might be every 1 year now.
Yeah.
I just did it, so I don't have to worry about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But really, like, beer's pretty safe.
Yeah.
You know, it's somewhat acidic relative to other things. It has alcohol in it. There's a certain amount of spoilage microorganisms that can definitely get in there, but
Yeah.
in terms of microorganisms that'll cause harm to your body, there's less of those.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason you go back hundreds and thousands of years, and more hundreds of years, but like the monk breweries in Europe where
Built.
it was safer to drink beer than it was water, right?
Yeah, because they boiled it and it was like 14% alcohol in some of those big triples that they would brew back in the day.
Well, those beers were a lot later. They were 1 or 2%.
Oh, really? I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, if you're substituting for water, for sure.
I suppose.
You wouldn't get a lot done if you're drinking Belgian triples.
What does a monk do?
I
all
wasn't
day, though,
I wasn't around back then.
No, me.
I'm not a
I
beer
know.
historian, but my understanding is like you ferment something like that, and the acidity changes and the alcohol's in there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not something that water will go bad before the beer goes bad. Put it that way.
That's an interesting thought, actually. Yeah.
These are things I don't think about this on a day-to-day basis, but you come on Lost Signals and you get asked about it.
I'm asking the hard questions here, you know.
Man. Yeah.
So what got you into homebrewing specifically at the beginning? It's like, because every story has a start, right? So like was it a cost thing, or was it just like thinking like I could make something better than this brewery?
No.
Or was it just like a boredom thing?
It was none of those. I like craft beer. I've been drinking. I think like 2009 was kind of a time when just being in Europe, like, and getting used to taking singles and trying, just a bunch of different beers and not having to buy 24 at a time. It just kind of opens your mind up to, hey, there's a lot of beer out there.
Yeah.
And this is good. This is awesome, right?
Yeah.
And I lived in Calgary for 3 years and Toronto for 4, and there was always breweries super close. And
Yeah.
it was just kind of normal to just try new beer all the time. And it was noticeable at the time coming back to Saskatchewan in 2017 that there wasn't as many options. And like I said, I was looking for a bunch of different stuff to do, and one of them ended up being brewing, and that was the one that kind of decided. So I went into it with the mindset that I need to do something to stay here.
Yeah.
We wanted to have a family west, not back where we were. Wanted to change things, and so like I definitely brewed with the mindset, hey, I'm going to turn this into something. And I did, I think, off memory, like maybe 70 or so batches before I opened.
That's a lot.
Brew level,
Yeah.
It was
I
a
think
lot.
I'm at about 15 myself right now.
Okay.
So not so bad, but not the scale that you're doing. But.
Well, I was just trying to make mistakes on that level instead of on the bigger stage.
It makes sense. I mean, let's be honest.
It kind of worked. It didn't really work, but
like let's be honest here. Like we won't get into specifics, but like to buy a brewing system of any size, you're looking at between say $10,000 and $500,000, depending on what you want to spend, right? So it's probably better to get good at the home brewing level, even though I don't know if it
wouldn't be the
translates.
size of the system. It would be the amount of inputs you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you don't want to mess up on when you're spending thousands of dollars. You'd rather mess up on $40.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah, because like I can do a batch of 5 gallons of beer for
$50.
30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last time I did it was about 30.
That's pretty good.
So today you did like 120 kgs of ish.
Yeah, barley and 25 of white wheat and some oats as well too.
Yeah. So I mean, like, that's a decent amount of cash that you're putting into.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, I mean, it's all relative. There's that. There's the time you put into it. There's
Yeah.
the water. There's the fixed costs. There's the,
Well, and let's be
There's
honest,
everything, right?
like a lease on a building like this, and then your power costs. I mean, like I'm sure some people look at it like yeah, you know, like he owns a brewery. It doesn't cost fuck all to brew a beer. No, it doesn't. But there's everything associated with that goes with it. I
mean, the
think.
hops and the fruit. You can spend a lot of money
Oh,
on
yeah,
hops and
yeah,
fruit.
yeah.
Like, like excess equilibrium. On a 10-barrel batch, I'll dump, a full bag of like 11 pounds of cryo mosaic.
That can't be cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, relative to other breweries, it's nothing. But
Yeah.
On a per liter basis, it's a bit of cost for sure on the product side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
it's not a seltzer.
no.
Yeah.
No. It's I remember like when we first heard that you were opening here. Like
Yeah.
I can't remember who said, but it's like it's about damn time that somebody opened a brewery that wasn't in Saskatoon. Like, and yeah, there is good breweries in Saskatoon. Don't ever get me wrong about that. But it's nice to have something in a smaller center. Like, but let's be honest. Like Warman's 10 minutes outside of Saskatoon. Like we're not talking like hundreds of miles here,
Right.
but it's nice to have something in a smaller community like this.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed from coming here in the last 3.5 years or so is that there is a community here.
For sure, yeah.
Like you walk in here if you're not here at about 3:30 on a Friday afternoon, you might not be getting a seat.
Sometimes.
Like
Yeah.
during the winter,
Not always.
for sure.
Yeah.
So like, what do you think of like the community that's been built around what you've been doing? Like it's I met some amazing people here so far.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Honestly, it's a good spot though.
Yeah.
Like even Mitch and myself, we look forward to Fridays
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know. I love it. It's
There's a good group of people that
the
comes
people
in here.
that come through. It's just it's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is.
Like I talked to that Chad last Friday for like I should actually get him on here too. Like he'd have some interesting stories. It's the guy that rode from from Warman
Yeah.
to the Arctic Ocean and back in less than
Yeah,
2
cool.
weeks. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
Chad. Yeah. But, yeah, he'd be an interesting talk. Maybe one day we'll come in here and
Yeah.
have a chat with him. But
Yeah, he rode a bike up to the Arctic Circle.
that's
Yeah.
nuts. But like the amount of people in here, they have just random mishmash of people that I've met here, and it's like it's a small community now. I got a random text message from another regular former employee. Well, she might work here still, but like Kelsey,
Yeah.
it's like we're having a surprise party for you, and it's like, and I wanted to come so bad, but I was playing a gig with one of the bands that night, so couldn't. But no, it's like I like coming here because like it's never the same time when you come in here,
Yeah.
but it's always the same time.
Okay.
Like you're always having a good time, but there's always like there's somebody's doing something dumb maybe,
Yeah. Usually.
but not like high school or like in your early 20s dumb. It's just like there's some dumb conversations going on probably about
all the same.
there's always like making fun of this or that or talking about whatever.
Yeah.
Or watching Popeye cartoons on the screens here,
Yeah.
which is great. But no, I
don't know. I think more than anything, it's probably 30 or so people, but for one reason or another, they decided, hey, like I want to make this my spot and I want this place to work.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, people have come in here and my menu might be in disarray or like there might not be many beers on or whatever.
sometimes you got to pour out of pour a can out of the cooler.
And people have come back and like said, hey, like this is my spot. Like, you think I don't want to start naming people because I'm going to miss them
Yeah.
if I start naming who those people are.
But these people,
like,
they know who they are. If they're going to be
know who
watching
they
this,
are.
they know.
Yeah.
Like if if you feel like if you feel like you're a regular here,
Yeah.
you're probably on that list. Like,
And it's not like it's exclude like
no, it's never it's
I lived in Toronto for 4 years. I know what it's like to be an outsider.
Yeah.
You know, but you hope that when people come through the door, they feel welcome.
Yeah.
And it's not not everyone thinks the same here.
And that's a good
Which
thing.
I really like.
There's a lot of differing opinions about a lot of things.
And it's not always it's not about that. It's, you know, people are, it's a bit of a throwback in a way, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever
it is, I like it. I do.
I've never had a bad time in here.
Yeah.
You know, like every time I come in, even on the days that it's quiet, you know, like you and I will bullshit, or you and me and Mitch will bullshit about something stupid,
whatever.
You know. But you know, it's great. So like again,
and the food is awesome. That helps.
100%. So
the food's unreal.
if you get a chance, come out to Warman and come out for lunch during the week if you get the chance, or come out on the weekend. You know, Mitch will be usually cooking like all day. He's still cooking all day on the weekends, right?
Yeah.
Friday, Saturdays.
Yeah. 11:30 to 7.
Get the smash burger, get the poutine, get a dry PA, or get a whatever, and go from there.
Yeah.
And consider yourself lucky, because like it really is. It's a great place to come. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Limited seating in here though.
Yeah, it's small.
Like,
I mean, summer's almost here. Look at the patio.
Yes, patio open. Yeah. Like the thing about like that's the nice thing about here, and it's not a drawback, but it's like you walk in here and say there is 10 people in here, it feels like it's packed. But that's why it always feels like it's like a party. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, you're forced into social interaction here.
Yeah.
Some people don't like that, but
well, then this isn't the right place for them.
No.
Like we've had.
If you come here, you're talking to people.
We've had 6 people jammed up at the bar.
Yeah,
we've had 7 people jammed up at the bar. You know,
it's just pretty common.
And it seats 4. Like, yeah.
I gotta go check the beer right now.
Here, commercial number 2. Take her easy. We'll be right back.
Hey, did you know that we have a website? Yeah, we keep forgetting it's there too, but we're doing our best. It was recently updated. Check it out for yourself, lostsignals.ca. There, you can find a description as to who we are as the hosts of your favorite podcast, Darrell, Lee, and myself, JD. As well, you get a chance to connect with us and listen to us wherever you prefer, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcast, or other platforms. And if you want to ask us a question, you can do so by clicking the little button on the bottom right, and feel free to ask us anything at all. No guarantee we'll answer, but chances are, if it's dumb enough, we will. TheLostSignals.ca. Check out our website. Please, we need to remember it's there.
Okay, we're back. Round 3. Here we go. So today we brewed a not finished pineapple sour. That's that was the route we were going for, I think, today. What's I think we did kind of touch on this, but like brewing a sour, you said it's a little easier than brewing, like, say, an IPA or something other than that. Like,
well, if you do a kettle sour, your day just gets chopped up, so you only kind of have to do half of what you would do on a full brew day for a normal beer, I guess, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you transfer it, you put it in the kettle. I'm about to pitch lactobacillus, and then you wait. And hopefully I come in tomorrow and I can boil it, and I can move it into the FE and pitch yeast and start making beer. But,
so what's when you go to like pitch yeast in this, like, what's your fermentation time? Like, what's normally for a beer like that?
It doesn't take too long, honestly. Like, if I'm using Kvikes, if I'm using like a Verdant or a London Ale 3 or a USF4, it'll take a little bit longer, but you just want to give it a bit of time. Like, the last thing you want to do is finish fermentation and rush it and have the acid in the beer.
You know,
so for one reason or another, I've taken my time with my beer, and I think it's helped in terms of quality.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it works great.
Thanks, Darrell.
Man, like there's a reason why I've been coming here so often. So, and I bought a lot of beer off of you.
You bought a couple beer.
Like at least like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think
100
probably,
dozen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
Not that much, but like I bought a lot over the last couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's a big beer buyer.
It's a body like this isn't cheap. So what?
Give me both, buddy.
Yeah. So what's next? Like what's like? So yeah, we're doing the summer beer.
Yeah.
That we brewed today with the pineapple sour. What's next in your brewing weeks here? Like what's like what do you think is going to come next?
Probably. I mean, I'm going to do another Dr. Beak. I'm short on that one. When the wheels spin, it moves quick, but the wheels don't always spin as quick as they should.
Yeah.
So I'll do another Dr. Beak. I'll keep kind of the main ones going, and then probably some moderator. I want to do some beers for golf courses this summer as well too.
Yeah.
Kind of get into that.
I think your blonde would do really well on a lot of golf courses.
I think so too.
I think it's. I bought a lot of blonde, like your blonde ale over the last couple of years, and
yeah. But yeah, early June, we were talking about it today. We're gonna try to get Darrell and Toxic.
Yep.
Out here playing some music. We had some pig roasts last year.
Yeah.
Maybe we do something like that again. We still got to talk to the city and get approvals.
Permitting
and all that stuff.
is not up in the air, but like it just
got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're early stages.
Might have like a 3-band Saturday, end of June actually.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Keep your eyes open for that. So normally we had a couple songs for the Found Signals podcast, and I've been asking you all day. Okay, come on, you got to pick up. You got to add at least one song onto the playlist. Like when you're brewing a beer, what song is going through your head? Like,
what song is
like when you're walking around in the back here, you know, like in your transferring grain, like you got to be like what song is going through your head?
I don't think any song is going through my head.
There's got to be something. Like what? Okay, what was your banger from high school?
Oh man, high school.
Okay, yesterday.
High school was,
okay, when you
I
rolled up,
listened to gangster rap in high
it was
school.
so
I'm kind of embarrassed.
So did I. I still do. Okay, so when you rolled,
do you actually still listen to gangster rap?
I was listening to Ice Cube this morning. Like the reel or the picture that I put up of you guys like putting labels on today. It was Ice Cube.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was a good day by Ice Cube. So it was it seemed
hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, I listen to a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
Don't seem like I'm a metalhead, but no, I fuck with gangster rap a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So what are you gonna put
on? Bob Marley.
Which one?
One Love.
One Love.
Yeah.
That's a good track. I'm not gonna put anything on this week, but
okay.
Actually no, I will. I'm gonna add the.
So is this like a thing? Like it's like one song?
There's
for every person.
Like we so every week we do an episode between JD and I and Lee. We add to this playlist, and we're at it's not telling me how many songs, but it's 11 hours and 38 minutes.
Oh wow!
So we had Sheldon Dingwall was on the podcast, so he added an Amanda Marshall song because that was the first song that you heard a Dingwall guitar on. We had Chris Jericho, the wrestler, on here.
Yeah.
We put a Fozzy song on when Earl Pereira from Wide Mouth Mason and the Steadies. We put a couple Steady songs on. So like we always all sorts of shit on
all
here.
Sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's been a fun day, man.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
I really enjoyed you being here, Darrell.
Yeah, it was great, and we'll do it again, and like we'll I don't know, maybe I'll wear a GoPro or something next time or something, but
get in the brew day. I just sneezed. I don't want to shake your hand. Sorry.
It's all good. Okay.
Can I go left-handed?
Okay. It's episode 60. See you guys out there.
So yeah.